Welcome back and welcome to my May wrap up. I filmed a little bit of a video when I was back in the UK explaining that my May wrap up was going to be a little bit different, but it's quite shaky video because I had a different filming location. So in a moment I'm going to take you back in time and show you the end of that little bit of video. But because I was traveling so much in May and I was just all over the place, what I decided to do was I decided to do my May TBR as a series of video clips as I finish each book, so then I don't forget what I've read, and then physical books that I've since passed on to people or left behind with, you know, new owners in the UK, I could show you them at the time, because I was reading a lot of physical stuff when I was back in the UK. So I will now transport you to me from the past, and you can see what I've been reading in the month of May as I have been reading it. So as I film this, we are a few days into May and I have finished one of every kind of book so far. So I have finished a physical book, and that is Leah on the Offbeat. This book I actually ended up managing to find a couple of days earlier because this was released on the 3rd of May in the UK and I managed to find it on the 1st, yay. I love this book. It was everything that I hoped it would be. I actually hugged it when I finished it, is there a film of this one? I want there to be a film of this one. Please let there be a film of this one. And then on the 1st of May, I also started and finished another book on my Kindle, which was the final part in the Castle Court series by Holly Hepburn. This one was Starry Skies in Castle Court, and is the final part in the series, and again it was kind of everything I hoped it would be. When you come to the 4th part in a series, you have certain expectations, and this really definitely met those expectations. The ending was just lovely. And then I listened to A Long Way Down by Reynolds, I think, which is a book written in verse, and it was so beautifully poetic. It was so heartbreaking, all the people around him that he had been directly involved with who had been shot and killed and died. I just couldn't believe when the kind of death count, so to speak, kept going up. That was like, wow, absolutely heartbreaking. But the book itself is so beautiful, and he says this thing about losing someone that you love. It's like losing a tooth. You keep poking the hole and expecting there to be a tooth there, and losing someone you love is the same thing. So the rest of the month I'm going to be sort of telling you what I am finishing as I go along, and then, as I say, stay to the end and I will give you a summary, and I might be in front of my normal bookshelves for the summary at the end. I just don't know. I might be somewhere else entirely. We'll see. So I have finished another book. I have finished book number 4, I think, and that is A Taxonomy of Love by Rachael. This one, it started off really well, and it had like a mixture of prose and emails and instant messages and these little taxonomy diagrams, but then towards the end of the book, it just became all narrative, and yeah, the main character has Tourette's, and yeah, apart from that, there wasn't anything terribly special about the characters in this novel, so it's very much a mixed one for me. I'd say I liked it, didn't love it. You'd have to make your own mind up about this one. So I just finished Surface Breaks by Louise O'Neill on a train, and also on a train that I didn't get a chance to update, I finished My Box-Shaped Heart by Rachael. I finished that on my train home on Friday. So yeah, doing well with the TBR, sticking to the TBR. This book was not on the TBR. Reading in bed. Hopefully get this one finished today. 100 pages left. Still love that bookmark. So this way of doing a wrap-up is great because you get to see me when I've just woken up or I'm just going to bed, because it seems that's the time when I read. Yesterday I didn't film with the book because I decided not to finish the book that I was reading. I was reading Tubing, and I was really excited about it because I thought it was going to be an exciting thriller set on the London Underground. But I got to like 75 pages and there was just so many issues with consent, and the stuff going on in it just felt like rape and it wasn't acknowledged. And so whilst I was really excited to read this book and took it out with me, and made the mistake of not taking like another book out with me because I went small handbag, I just it didn't sit right with me at all. So whilst I was excited to read this one and it was firmly on my TBR, it let me down. And so I left it behind. I left it in Paddington Station. So it was another 75 pages towards Barter Books, which I am currently doing, which will be way over when you see this video. But didn't end up finishing Tubing. Onwards and upwards. So I then read Random Acts of Kindness by Victoria Walters, part 4 in this series, and obviously loved it. So I did miss out a couple of reads that I finished whilst out and about, whilst travelling. I finished listening to The Chaos of Standing Still, and I absolutely loved that one. I sort of started listening to it on a whim, and it was definitely one I'm pleased that I took a chance on. And then I also finished listening to Sunshine and Sweet Peas in Nightingale Square. No, I didn't listen to that. I read it on Kindle, and I just finished that one. And I listened today to In Conclusion, Don't Worry About It by Lauren Graham, which I didn't realise was such a short book. I'd seen pictures of it on Instagram, and then I borrowed it on Audiobook from the library, and it was really quick because I listened to it quicker. I basically just listened to it whilst killing time in the car. And I also today just finished listening to the audiobook of The Keeper of Lost Things by Ruth Hogan. I went to an event with Ruth Hogan last week, and so I was trying to listen to that in time for the event. That didn't happen. Got about halfway. It's one of those that like everybody has talked about and has said is amazing, and I'm like, it was good, but I'm not blown away by it. But I am on to my next read, and I'm just about to select my next audio listen, so you'll find out next time I pop up on here. I just finished From Twinkle with Love by Sandhya Menon, setting outside in the Colorado sunshine, so it's great to be reading about Colorado sunshine while sitting in it. It was so lovely. It was possibly even more romantic than when Dimple met Rishi, if that's possible. I've heard other people say it, so I'm putting it out there. I'm saying it. So I just finished another one from my May TBR. I finished reading Amy Cole Has Lost Her Mind, which I read on Kindle, and I have already reviewed this one on the blog because it was part of the blog tour. This was such a surprise. I was not expecting this book to be as good as it was. It sounds really bad that I went in with really low expectations, but it was really good. I highly recommend it. Go check out my review. It'll be linked below. And now we are back right up to date. So the last couple of books that I just finished, I finished reading Somewhere Beyond the Sea by Miranda Dickinson. I talk about this one a little bit more in my June TBR because this one is out in the UK on the 14th of June. Of course, being a Miranda Dickinson novel, I loved it. One of the things that I loved most about this one was the fact that it had short chapters. So if you are a fan of dual narrative and short chapters, you will love this one, and it is a great one to add to your summer holiday TBR. And another one which I also absolutely loved, you might remember me hauling this one in a recent book haul, and that is Little Big Man by Katy Regan. I ended up downloading the audiobook for this one, and oh my goodness, the audiobook is so well done. Obviously this book, it says, sometimes it takes a little boy to see the big things in life. And obviously the little boy, the 10-year-old boy, is quite a big character in this book. And so sometimes when you get audiobooks and they have children in them, the narrator does just a really bad job. But the narrator who did Zach's part in this book did such a great job. They were so fantastic, and they used different narrators for the different people, which I really quite like because it makes it much easier to distinguish when you are listening on audiobook. This one is coming out in the US as Little Big Love, and it is coming out on the 12th of June, so you don't have long to wait for this. This one is already out in the UK, so you can get it as a hardback, an ebook, or an audiobook already. I believe, as I'm filming this, it was only 99p on Kindle. Because I saw it and I was like, oh yeah, definitely getting one of that, even though I won this copy, I won this physical copy. Let me just double check, but it is coming out on the 12th of June in the US as Little Big Love. No, the Kindle edition has gone back up. Kindle edition is $3.99, but that is still amazing. But if you've got an Audible credit, I do recommend the audiobook. It's very good. Yeah, so the final book that I read in the month of May was How the Light Gets In by Clare Fisher. This one is a collection of short stories, and they are all very observational short stories. So one of them talks about the guy that works the night shift on the information desk at Victoria Coach Station, for example, or the girl who folds the shirts in the TM Lewin in Leeds train station. They're all things that I could totally relate to. Some of them are super short, like 1 to 2 pages long. Some of them are a couple more pages long, but because they're short stories, what I've been doing is I've been picking them up and reading them sort of in between other books. So I've maybe read 20% here and 20% there, and it's worked out really nicely that way. I just think that Clare Fisher is somebody that we need to be watching because her writing is just so powerful. Her novel that I read last year was so emotionally affective, and the collection of short stories was just, I could just relate to so much of it. It was really great. So I hope you enjoyed this slightly different May wrap up, but it worked out really well for me, and it means that you get my initial thoughts as soon as I kind of finish a book, or if I forgot to film until like the next morning or something, you get my initial thoughts the day after I finish a book, rather than having to wait for me to sit here and do a wrap up. Let me know in the comments below the best book that you read in May, and also let me know what you thought of this new style of video, because I'm happy to do it for June as well if you would like. And please remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so that my next video lands in your subscription feed. My next video, of course, will be my June TBR. I'm going to warn you, it's going to be a long one, so you will need coffee for that one. And I've got some more exciting stuff coming up in the month of June, including hopefully my vlog of me at BookCon. I'm so excited. I'm gutted that I can't do Book Expo as well, but I'm very excited to be going to BookCon, and hopefully I will see some more of your other favourite booktubers there, so there will be multiple people in the videos. I'm just really excited, really, really excited. I wasn't sure I was going to make it because of everything that happened in the month of May and waiting around and thinking that I was going to be back here and then I wasn't back here. So I'm very excited to be bringing you that in June as well. So yes, again, thanks for watching. Sorry I rambled the ending here. I'll see you with my June TBR. Bye.